Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Evening Devotion. Tonight, we're going to be reading out of Ecclesiastes 1:7. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again. Solomon knew about evaporation, the cycle of the processing of water. So the rivers run into the sea. Water evaporates from the sea up into the clouds. Clouds pass over onto land. Rain comes down, replenishes the waters in the ground, and it all starts all over again, flows back into the sea. They were doing a study on, this was years ago, when people were really getting on about climate change and all that. And they were saying that if the ice melts on the North Pole, it's going to flood the whole world like Waterworld. And they did a study, and they have a special device they'd come up with, and they were able to scan it. They said, we found over 300 rivers with water flowing into the ocean underneath the ice. So there's already tons of fresh water going in there. So that, the understanding they were giving was nonsense. Because if it was going to happen, it would have already happened. And it hasn't. It just goes to show that the process of the earth and its ecosystem is all structured. It all works perfectly. We just need to leave it alone and stop trying to change it to create a supposed utopia that we're never going to create because we're not the ones in control. But here, Solomon knows about this. That's interesting. All is vanity. Ecclesiastes 1:1. If you want a real interesting read to blow your mind, and I did a series on Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiastes 12, the first, I think, 8 or 10 verses. It's kind of an eye-opener. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Interesting, he calls himself a preacher. And it's interesting that they capitalize that here. I wonder if they're alluding to Christ here. Maybe. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. It's all done for our benefit, not for God's. What profit has a man from all his labor in which he toils under the sun? One generation passes away and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever. The sun also rises, and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it arose. The wind goes toward the south and turns around to the north. The wind whirls about continually and comes again on its circuit. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. To the place from which the rivers come, there they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. That which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. And that's an interesting, often quoted verse. It used to be anyway. So what has happened will happen again, and we're seeing it. How do we know? Well, let's just take the judgments. When was the first judgment? It's under Noah, big flood. When's the next one? Under the tribulation. Either way, there's judgment, It's going to be fire this time. So what has happened is going to happen again. And we can see that. We can see that mankind loves to revisit things that they learned their lesson under, but then forgot it after 2 or 3 generations. It goes right back and does it all over again. You would think they would learn. I mean, look at America. Rome wasn't not too far back when they hit their 250th year and they had all the depravity they have, just like we have now, fell. In fact, every great civilization, when it hits the height of its depravity, the height of its decadence, falls. We have the records of it. How amazing America didn't learn anything after all that. And here we are about to go through the same thing. Don't forget, next year on the 4th of July is America's 250th birthday. Just saying. There's nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which it may be said, see, this is new? It has already been in ancient times before us. And this is the truth. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of things that are to come by those who will come after. Then he goes into something else. The vanity of wisdom. And honestly, wisdom has its place, but there is a vanity in it. Because people learn it to make themselves out to be something they're not, instead of learning it for the benefit of others. See, when you gain knowledge and learn things so that it is a benefit to another or other people, that's not vanity. because you're doing it for a nobler reason than just to learn. A lot of people learn and learn all this stuff just to make themselves look good and to hold it over other people's head. The reality of it is, no matter how much you learn, a jerk is a jerk. A terrible person is a terrible person, regardless of how much you know. Everything sublunary is on the move. Time knows nothing of rest. The solid earth is a rolling ball, and the great sun himself, a star obediently fulfilling its course around some greater luminary. Tides move the sea, winds stir the airy ocean, friction wears the rock, change and death rule everywhere. The sea is not a miser's storehouse for a wealth of waters, for as by one force the water flows into it, by another they are lifted from it. Men are born but to die. Everything is hurry, worry, and vexation of spirit. That is a powerful sentence. Very powerful, because it's the truth. Men are born but to die. Everything is hurry, worry, and vexation of spirit. True peace comes to the person who stands back and says, you know what? Why am I going to trouble myself with this? What's going to happen is going to happen. I can't stop it or control it. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Just let it happen. Trust the Lord and let it happen. Not worry about it. It'll work out the way it's supposed to. That's true peace. And some of us are on that road. Coming up to that point. Takes a lot to get there. Friend of the unchanging Jesus, that's us. What a joy it is to reflect upon thy changeless heritage, thy sea of bliss, which will be forever full, since God himself shall pour eternal rivers of pleasure into it. The Bible says there that at his right hand are pleasures forevermore. We haven't even begun to witness what the Lord is going to do for us. It's all laid up in heaven. Wait till we get there. We seek an abiding city beyond the skies, and we shall not be disappointed. The world mocks us because we believe this. We know the truth. The Word of God is our truth. The passage before us may well teach us gratitude. Father Ocean is a great receiver, but he is a generous distributor. What the rivers bring him, he returns to the earth in the form of clouds and rain. That man is out of joint with the universe who takes all but makes no return. We see this in these disgustingly uber rich people. Is it bad to have a lot of money? No. In my opinion, I don't think no single human being needs to have billions or even trillions of dollars. That's just my take on it. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. But for one person to have that much wealth and have a portfolio that's worth that much, that's wild. Especially when there's people living in the same city that they live in that can't pay their bills. To give to others is but sowing seed for ourselves. To give to others, like we talked about this morning, is but sowing seed for ourselves. He who is so good a steward as to be willing to use his substance for his Lord shall be entrusted with more. Remember the parable, I mentioned it this morning. Parable of the talents. Friend of Jesus, art thou rendering to him according to the benefit received? Much has been given thee. What is thy fruit? Hast thou done all? Canst thou not do more? We always ask ourselves these questions. And honestly, I think the majority of us, if not all of us, are already there. To be selfish is to be wicked. Suppose the ocean gave up none of its watery treasure. It would bring ruin upon our race. God forbid that any of us should follow the ungenerous and destructive policy of living unto ourselves, because the Bible tells us not to live unto ourselves. What do you think Jesus meant when he said, he who loses his life will find it? He who finds his life will lose it. He was talking about selfishness. Other than jealousy, what is the most prominent negative quality of mankind today? Selfishness. Narcissistic selfishness. And it exists in every aspect of society. Jesus pleased not himself. All fullness dwells in him, but of his fullness have all we received. Oh, for Jesus' Spirit, that henceforth we may live not unto ourselves. Now, something like this can cause us to go, well, am I doing that? And cause us to go into panic mode. Am I doing that? Relax. Don't freak out over it. If you are in a state that the Lord doesn't want you in, he will show you, reveal it to you, and he will move you from that to where he wants you. All we have to be is willing. He makes us able. and we give what we have. I have a lot of time. I give my time. Just did it earlier today. Going to do it again this week, later this next week, because my mom's getting a bunch of electrical work done on her house because she needs it really bad. It was shocking how like the wiring is like from the 30s, and they're going to come in, they're going to fix everything and put some extra plugs in, new boxes and everything. And so we're going to be there, and I'm going to clean up some stuff, take care of some things. We put hay out today, did water troughs, and moved some stuff around. So I have plenty of time. I give that time, not only here at home, but at, over at my mom's house and anywhere else I can. Give what you have, and don't worry about the rest. Ask the Lord to lead you. Lord, what should I do? How should I give? And what should I give? And how much? And he will show you. He will put on your heart the right, correct way and amount, no matter what that may be. See, we try to force it. We're always trying to force it. We need to relax. Does the sea force the clouds to take water? No. The process happens. We need to learn to do that. The process happens. We don't need to stress over whether we're doing enough. Listen, you can always just go to the Lord and ask him and then wait on him to answer. But we got to get to that place where we stop worrying about it so much, because I can't control it. I could go and I could throw money at everything, but I can't control anything in any outcome. What I can do is be diligent in paying attention, read the word, and ask the Lord, show me what you want me to do. I'm a willing servant. Show me what you want me to do. Give me the ability to do it, and that's what will happen. And be ready when he calls. Because I tell you, you don't have to do something every single minute. You don't have to do something every single day, which the vast majority of us are, but you don't have to do something all the time. Because if the Lord uses you once in a year to do something for someone else, and it may seem like a trivial thing, you may not realize just how much value it actually had. And that may cover the entire year of any of the other things you may have done. Again, when we get to the Bema seat, we're probably going to be pretty shocked at what passes through and what doesn't. Because I'll tell you this, when somebody is really in need, even of small stuff, it means a lot to them, you just being there to support them and to help them with the little things. That has far more value than giving $1 million to a charity, or going out there and being a missionary, or donating all your spare time to a church somewhere. It means way more. Those are good things. Those little things are where the big value is. And Jesus, again, I'll quote the same verse. He made it clear. Anyone gives a cup of cold water to one of these little ones in the name of a disciple will in no wise lose his reward. That's a simple act, a loving act of caring. I could just give you water. I'm going to give you cold water. Of course, there's other meanings to that parable, but the key one is the little things are the big things. And so we don't need to be so worried about the big things. Big things are going to take care of themselves. It's the little things where we have the greater impact. It's the little things that carry over. And let me tell you this, and I'll close with this. It's the little things that people remember the most. It's those little things that will pass on to the other side. It's those little things that people will remember when they're at the end of their life. It's those little things that will stay with them. The big things, they'll forget it. The little things, those things they'll remember forever, for the rest of their life. Because those little things are where the big value is, the big changes, the big help is. So don't be so quick to run and do the big things. Hold on a minute. Step back and go, hold on. Let me think about this. Let me go take counsel with the Lord and see what he thinks I should do. So it may be the big thing. Anybody can do the big thing. But it may be the little thing is where it's at. The little thing is where he wants you to work the most. And he will give you the ability to do all those little things. And again, I think if we examined our lives, we might realize we're already doing them. And we may already be doing stuff every day. If you pray for another person, you're going to the Lord on their behalf. That's intercessory prayer. That has high value with the Lord. And they may not know you're doing it, but that little gesture has great value on their eternity. So it may be you're already doing the most valuable thing you can do, and that's giving praise to the Lord and thanksgiving to Him, and the fruit of your lips, but also praying for others, even if they don't know it. Because what will happen is that if your prayer has an effect and the Lord acts on those prayers in that other person's life and they go to heaven, they're going to know about it when they get there, and they're going to come to you and say, thank you for praying for me. Thank you for coming to the Lord on my behalf. Because that it worked and He saved me. See, we don't have to look no further than right in front of us to see that whether we're doing something that's a benefit. And it may be the most valuable thing possible, because how many people pray for others today? I don't see a lot. They fake it. They make it sound good. What's their motivation behind it? And we know by the scriptures the Lord pays attention to motivation. So keep doing what you've been given to do. And I venture a guess we're all already doing it in our own homes. And when the Lord comes, He will show us all those things. And He will reveal to us that our training for heaven and for the millennial reign happened in our living rooms, happened in our daily lives. We'll find out when we get there. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name. I'll see you in the next video.